So let's talk about what all living things have in common. And these characteristics that every single living thing has in common is called the characteristics of life. So for a living for an organism to be considered living, it has to have cellular organization. So think about our human body. Our cells are organized in a way that um, kind of allows the functions to go through or to or allows certain actions to occur in a organized manner. Living things also need to respond to stimuli. So an example of this would be how plants that are growing, they'll grow towards the sun or towards the source of light. That's how they respond to stimuli. Organisms also need to be able to reproduce on their own, meaning they need only members of their own species to reproduce. And there are some exceptions where, like, lions and tigers can mate and produce ligers or tie-ins. Um, and then organisms also need to be able to grow and develop. So think about how you started as a little baby and then now you're the human being you are now. Like, you must have grown a ton. Your body has developed so much ever since you were born. Um, Organisms also need to be able to regulate their bodies. So, for example, our body kind of regulates our sleep cycle. We sleep usually during the night and wake up in the morning. And this is because our body regulates that cycle. Organisms need to also maintain homeostasis. So, homeostasis is a state of balance. So, the way humans maintain homeostasis is by when, for example, if it's super duper cold outside, we're going to start shivering. And we shiver so that we can produce heat, so that our body temperature can remain that normal, constant temperature that we need it to remain to maintain homeostasis. And then similarly, when we're really, really hot, we start sweating. And that's how our body cools off and maintains homeostasis. Organisms also need to be able to process energy. Plants, for example, take the sun's energy and turn it into chemical energy that they can use to carry out functions. And we humans, we eat food like bread, we eat vegetables, and the um, we turn the chemicals or we turn the energy available in our food sources into energy that we can use. And this is how we process energy. And organisms also have several levels of organization. So let's start from the smallest to the biggest. So an atom is the smallest um, organization of matter. So all matter is made up of atoms. And atoms are protons, neutrons, electrons. Protons are positively charged, neutrons don't have a charge, and electrons are negatively charged. So think of a protons and neutrons in the center, and then electrons floating around it. That's what an atom is. And then when atoms combine together, they form a molecule. And when these molecules form together, they form macromolecules. And for life, when these macromolecules are combined together, they make an organelle. So an organelle is what is parts of a cell. Like we talked about, a mitochondria is an organelle. Chloroplast is an organelle, and it basically helps the cell carry out some sort of function. Cells, when they are all together, are called a tissue. And then when these tissues are gathered around, they make an organ, like our stomach, our lungs, our heart, and then all these organs work together to form an organ system. And this can be like our digestive system, our circulatory system, which helps body cycle through, which helps blood cycle through our body. Digestive system helps us swallow food and process that energy that's a characteristic of life. And our nervous system, which helps like our brain regulate our body or control aspects of our body, like our legs and our hands. And then all these organ systems form to make an organism, which is like you and me. I'm an organism, you're an organism. This is going to talk about the levels of organization.
Levels of organization. When building a city, you start with bricks. Many bricks joined together makes a wall. Walls working together make a building, and many buildings complete the city. The human body is put together in a similar way. Humans start with cells. Many cells joined together make tissue. Tissue working together make an organ, and many organs make an organ system. Cells are the smallest living part of an organism. Some examples of cells in the human body are brain cells, lung cells, and bone cells. When cells of similar structure and function join together, they form tissue. A group of brain cells is called brain tissue. A group of lung cells is called lung tissue. And bone cells joined together is called bone tissue. When a group of tissues that perform a specific function join together, they form organs. Brain tissue comes together to make your brain. Your brain is an organ. Lung tissue comes together to make your lungs. And bone tissue comes together to make individual bones. An organ system is a collection of organs working together to perform jobs. Your brain is a part of the nervous system. Your brain, spinal cord, and nerves work together to collect and process information. Your lungs are a part of the respiratory system. Along with the diaphragm and others, they help you breathe. All of the bones in your body are a part of the skeletal system. Bones, cartilage, ligaments, and tendons give your body structure and support. So from smallest to largest, your body is made up of cells, tissue, organs, and then organ systems. These are the levels of organization.
Of course, we talked about more levels included in the levels of organization, such as atoms, macromolecules, organelles, and the whole organ itself. But that was a basic overview.